This is everything that comes in this with this heater. Here's your 10-liter tank. What's inside there is the 3 mounting holes, screws, and then a nipple to put in through there if you decide to go that route. It's the mounting plate, instructions, which this by far is the most in-depth instruction manual I've gotten. Fuel line, wiring harness, all the hardware, air filter. Now, seeing all this shit seems a little more than what it is, but you don't even use all this shit. Got a rubber fuel line in there too. You're going to cut it into pieces, put on either end of the filter, the pump, and then the nipple at the bottom of the heater. Your exhaust, your intake. Control switch, fuel pump, Big Mama herself, the heater. Okay, so here's where I decided I'm going to mount the tank. Right here. Fuel line will run down along the wheel well off to that front side. That's where the heater is going to be. Now that fuel line will come across here, fuel filter up there, fuel pump down here, go through the floor, and then up to the bottom side of this unit. That's where the fuel line's got to go to. This is the exhaust, this is the intake end. So it'll be facing that way just like that. This is the mounting plate. 2.5 inch. Gonna do a figure 8 right here under this plate. Then this plate will go down. This will go right in place. Then we'll attach the exhaust and the intake lines up underneath to these. Fuel line will go down and back up to here. So that is the plan at the moment. I will update you shortly. Alright guys, run the fuel line out of this tank. Drill a hole in the top corner. The way they want you to do it is down here at the bottom. But the fish with the little fitting that goes in there and all that stuff, it's just more pain in the ass than what it's worth. So just go ahead and put it on the top. It works just as well. It's what I've got in both of the other ones. Now what we did is we put this rubber grommet here. We drilled the hole with a 1/4 inch bit. Bought these grommets from the parts store. It's getting a sorted pack. You got a nice snug fit there because those don't come with the kit.
Okay guys, so this is what we did here. We got the fuel tank mounted. We're running the fuel line back over to this point. You see this point, we drilled two 2.5-inch holes to adapt this plate. This is your mounting plate for your heater. You have to drill two 2.5-inch holes, the figure 8 hole, to be able to mount this heater.
Alright guys, this is what we've got run so far. These here, it's got a sticky back. These are zip ties. Just hold it in place. Now with these, this is the fuel pump here. It's got an arrow on it for the flow. Same thing for the filter. So be sure that you look at pay good attention to that. These are supposed to be at basically about just supposed to be some kind of an angle. I forget the recommended, but both of my other ones are about the same angle as this. And then we're going down through here. I don't know if you can see that in there. I'm going to put some kind of rubber grommet here so it's not rubbing up against that line and doesn't cut it eventually. I'll also put some silicone or something down there. Got the 4 mounting bolts. Not sure if you can see them down there. We don't have batteries. Couldn't find any in stock anywhere. So we haven't got this hooked up yet, but this is for the electrical. Alright, here's the underneath part. This is where it mounts. This is your intake. This is your exhaust. Your fuel line. And that's where the fuel line's going up in there. I'm going to try and fit that rubber grommet in here somehow. Get it on there somehow, one way or another. Got an air filter on the end. Not using the muffler because these things aren't very loud. I'm going to do something with this still. Got to mount that somewhere. So this exhaust, this clamp here is going to go there, and I'm going to put it right on there.
What happened?
Now, do you see how this figure 8 allowed all this stuff to fit down in there? Now, I didn't learn this on my own. Buddy of mine, Eric Redden, Red's Custom Design, he's the one that hit me on getting the 2.5-inch and doing the figure 8 to be able to fit all that down in there like that. That's what we got so far. Got this grommet up in there. I hope you can see that. I'm not sure how well that's going to show up with this lighting. And I'm going to get some sealant and caulk or something and fill that hole. Probably hit these little mounting bolts as well. So that's what we got.
I'm not saying today.
What?
I'm not talking today.
Alright guys.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm just fucking with you, dude. I did that just solely to fuck with you right there. No, go ahead.
Alright guys. So we're gonna prime the line. Got fuel in the fuel tank back there. Took just about 2.5 gallons. So we got to get fuel pumped in through the line into the chamber before we can start using it. And on these rotary dials, and once you turn this on, hold this. If you hear the pump, what that's doing is priming it. That way the chamber doesn't ignite. This is the prime setting. So we'll do this until the fuel line fills up with fuel. May have to repeat this a couple to 3 times. So let's see what happens.
Is that diesel?
put gasoline in there, Jay. That diesel's supposed to look different than that. There was only one pump at the diesel island. Couldn't have messed it up.
And you know what it was? Is that tank in that other van is so yellow. I thought diesel's supposed to be yellow.
Yeah, that thing's just stained up really bad. Alright, I believe we got the fuel all the way to the chamber, so I'm going to try to turn it on for the first time. As again, these rotary dials, just hit the on button, and these lights, it's basically these indicator lights, it's basically your temperature. You don't have a way to get an exact temperature. I'm going to put it on about half right now, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, update. We've had it running for a few minutes. We have heat. The pump will start slowing down just a little bit once it gets up to temperature. That's what it are.